Each week on this video, we'll give you sneaky waiver wire ads you can pick up heading into week 12. Add right to your roster. I'm Alan Seslowsky here with Erik Halterman. Who's going to be your first sneaky ad?
But in 10 and 12 team leagues, definitely check for Twins first baseman / outfielder Alex Kirilloff. Hasn't done much this year, but he's barely been given a chance. He hit the injured list with wrist inflammation after just 5 games. And once he was activated, he only played 5 more before the Twins sent him down for regular playing time. But he's absolutely crushed it at the AAA level. 1106 OPS in 35 AAA games. This is a guy who falls into that interesting gap where he's not technically a prospect anymore, so people kind of forget about him. And he hasn't actually done that much at the major league level. Had a 93 WRC plus in 59 games as a rookie last year, but the expected stats were far better. Struck out a league average 22.5% of the time with a 12.8% barrel rate. If you look for some established players who match those numbers or were quite close, we're talking guys like JD Martinez and Jorge Soler. So I'm really excited for him to be finally getting his chance. He is a big prospect who's supposed to hit for both power and contact. Hasn't done it yet, but if he's out there, I think he's about to, so go pick him up.
That's a great ad in shallow leagues. Let's get a little deeper now for some of our 12, 14 team leaguers, 15 team leaguers. Who's going to be our second sneaky ad?
Phillies reliever Bride Hand. I don't like him as much as Dominguez. I advised Dominguez last week over Hand for a reason. Dominguez was used in the 8th on Friday, and Hand came in the 9th. Wasn't great, but got the save. He got another save chance the next day and actually blew it. So what do we do with that? Maybe he blew it and he's not going to get chances 3 and 4. But you have to look at how the Phillies are using their guys. And you have to, I think, be nearly as excited about Hand as you were in Dominguez. Usage is what matters with relievers. It seems like Hand is on top of the committee, or at least 1A right now. So I think he has to be the reliever to be interested in, at least alongside Dominguez, if not even slightly ahead.
First rule of pickups and sneaky ads is you actually have to have the job. I like that one a lot. Okay, who's going to be our third sneaky ad?
So let's go with Atlanta second baseman Orlando Arcia, who seems to have the second base job for the next 2 months or so until Ozzie Albies returns from a broken foot. Arcia is actually eligible in the outfield most places. That's where he played the majority of his games last year, but he should add second base eligibility soon if he hasn't already in your league. That dual eligibility is definitely part of the reason to be interested in him. The main reason is he seems to have an everyday role in a pretty good lineup. That's worth a lot in deeper leagues, even if you aren't that great. Arcia for his career isn't that great. He's a career 246 hitter, averaging 14 homers and 12 steals per 600 plate appearances. Although this year, 968 OPS, tiny sample of 21 games, but it's backed by a much higher barrel rate than normal. It's at least something to watch there, though honestly, even if he wasn't much better this year, you still got to be interested in deeper leagues because he's playing every day and he's surrounded by good teammates.
All right, since you watched this video to the end, let's give everybody one bonus sneaky ad.
Yeah, talking about guys moving into everyday roles, let's talk about Oakland infielder Jonah Bride. Not much more than a fringe prospect, if you even call him that. 23rd round pick back in 2018, debuting just now at age 26. But he's had 5 straight starts since he was called up earlier this week. Not a good lineup to be part of, not a good park, but an everyday player is interesting. Bride's profile is a bit of a strange one. Modest power in the upper minors over the last 2 years, just 14 homers in 111 games. But he hit 221 and only struck out 1 more time than he walked. And that's the kind of profile that's really interesting to me. When you have that elite control of the zone, I think you can just kind of make it work. He's not much of a defender. The A's actually converted him to catcher late last season. He hasn't played there yet in the majors, although if he does, that'd be a big boost to his fantasy value. Even as a second baseman / third baseman in a deeper league, you got a guy with at least one notable skill set in that very elite control of the zone. I think that's interesting enough to be worth a pickup in deeper formats.
Yeah, I like the, quote, boring guys that I could stick in my lineup or at the end of my bench. Those are my type of players. But since everybody is stuck with us here, let's give them a double bonus, a little bit sexier. Give me something sexy for the pickups, a little exotic with super high upside and absolutely no floor whatsoever.
Yeah, how sexy is a career 190 hitter? Is that the kind of thing that gets you going?
Yes.
Leody Taveras. 88 major league games so far in his career. He's hitting 190, 571 OPS. But he was a pretty good prospect, and he's still just 23. So it's pretty clear, I think, that he was just up before he was ready. Maybe he's never going to be ready, despite missing the opening day roster pretty deservedly, I think, looking at those numbers. He's now started 7 straight games in center field after the Rangers lost Eli White, who's going to be out most of the year after wrist surgery. The strikeouts were his major red flag, 32.2% for his career, but it was just 21.7% in the minors, and it's about 27% now. So if those come down a bit, he doesn't have zero power. He's not a power hitter, but he doesn't have zero power. But what he does have is a lot of speed. 32 steals per 600 plate appearances, if you prorate that to an everyday role in the majors. Fantasy players love their speed. This is a young everyday guy who has that speed. If he can just hit, 230, I think he's going to stick around and help out a lot in the steals category.
Yeah, 230 is asking a lot in nowadays Major League Baseball league, but I like it. If you like videos like this, consider hitting the like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to get notifications every time we put up a new video on our YouTube channel. It's not too late to try RotoWire Premium for free. You could do so right now for 2 days. Take a peek behind our paywall, get all of our premium podcasts, articles, top 400 prospect rankings. Our fantasy football rankings are posted, and even our 2023 NBA draft content is up now. Go to rotowire.com/try.